Hello and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Afro podcast journal. This is a journal where we bring all of the best for you, people who will tell stories and impact your life, people who have taken their career from zero to hero, people who their stories will change your life. Today we are privileged. Why I chuckle this much, ladies and gentlemen, is because I need you to permit me. I'm going to laugh in some type of way that you would be suspecting me. But please don't. It's because of a guest that I have on the seat. He is a well-known face. He is an authority in the comedy industry. Recently, I was having a chit-chat with him before this production, and he said he changed his name from Big White to Rich White because, you know, the power of tongue got to him, and the minute he said it was Big White, he started to increase in size. But he was like, okay, I could change to Rich White, and the money started rolling in. Ladies and gentlemen, he is somebody we all know. We've been to his show. The number one person in Canada when it comes to the comedy, Rich White. How are you doing, sir?
All that introduction for this small me.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm so excited. For me, it's an honor to be called to Afrojournal to share my story. I will humbly say I hope my story inspire one or two persons. That's just the catch for me. But it's good to be here among brothers, among families, and to see what you guys are doing for the African Nigerian community at large. I want to say to the production crew and to yourself, thank you very much for this wonderful and rare opportunity to have to share stories to the world. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm delighted to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, my producer does not know this, but fun fact though, I took out my script because I felt like this conversation will be very convivial, will be it will be so unscripted to the point where I would not even have to look at my iPad or my phone for the question. So we're going to start. And he'll probably feel like it's a conventional way of starting. How has the journey been? No, that's not the question. What was the first box you were paid? As a comedian back in Nigeria. What started from there?
Okay.
The first money you were ever paid.
I think the first money I was ever paid, if I will be very... let me search my memory. Yeah, I remember that it was 2,000 naira. And that 2,000 naira came in form of 2020 naira then. So it was buck. They put it in an envelope and then they gave it to me. Yeah, it was 2,000 naira then, back then. Yeah, it was 2,000 naira. But 2,000 naira was big then.
It was big, right?
I still remember then you could spend 2,000 for a month. So it was big at the time. If I'm not mistaken, it was 1999.
Oh, wow.
So it's a long time, 2,000 naira.
So why I asked you that question was because I wanted to draw the minds of people watching back to when you started your career.
Yeah.
Right. That was why I asked that question. So invariably, you started your career within that period. When exactly did your career spring forth?
My career first started as an hobby. So I don't take that part out. I don't think the first time I mounted the stage was in 1999. I don't think I'll be fair to myself saying that. But I've been by the side helping people out with MCing birthday, doing one or two stuff with the mic, those kind of mic that is a cord you attach to the speaker. You know?
I told you guys.
So
I told you.
You can't move. There's no DJ then. The mic is there, connected to power. A gen is on by the side. There's no the music. Which music? Everything is just through the mic. So, but I think people saw me. They be like, you can MC my wedding. You can do this. You can do that. So from there, I started going out. Then other persons were like, okay, they'll come to my house and they'll give me wine to be able to attend their event. So they paid me with wine. So the money is 2,000, but I started with wine. Then it's even respect to say, we need you to come. Then when it was 1999, then I started getting paid officially, like take money and come and MC my event. Then from there, I think around 2003, 2004, it became kind of official because 2000, 2001, 2003, I became a very popular comedian in a Kotu environment in all Pentecostal churches because I was a church comedian. So every praise night, they want Big White then. So from there, I became popular. So from then, I started getting gigs and I started getting paid.
May your dad so rest in peace. At that time when you were starting your career, how did your family take? Because listen, we are Africans, right? There's some sort of careers you bring to the family. They'll tell you are not serious. Go to school, right? And it is school and school only. There's nothing by the side. How did your family perceive you being a comedian?
I think for me, no cap, I was born poor. My family was really poor.
Is the way you are saying it?
I was born in Ajegule. For those of you that know, it's very difficult to get a comfortable family in Ajegule. Nobody is comfortable in Ajegule. I lived in a compound where it was 8 rooms, but we had, if you count father, mother, and children in that compound, we were about 112. Because my own house alone, we were 9 of us. So some people have 12 people in their house on 14. So that's the kind of environment where I came out from. So I said that to say this. When I started getting paid for comedy, to my dad and my mom, it was like, so this nonsense you are saying, they can pay you for it. Oh, wow. Keep saying nonsense and getting paid. They didn't even see that, in quote, maybe it's a stigmatized kind of a means of income, or maybe it's something that is going to be, at the end of the day, they'll see me like someone on serious. But they were encouraged that I could talk this nonsense I say in the house for free, and people will pay me. Keep saying it. Just be saying your nonsense and getting paid. That was the idea then. So they didn't really bother about me being a comedian. They weren't worried.
Oh, they were.
I was getting paid. So I was solving problems. Yes, I was bringing something to the table.
We are going to move gradually. The trajectory is going to be gradually from Nigeria to this place and how you've established your brand here in this place. But before now, I heard that you said you started as a religious comedian, church comedian, in quote, right? How did you dovetail from being that part of a comedian? How did you dovetail into the mainstream comedy?
Yeah, because I quickly found out that there will be limitation on my career if I just say I'm a gospel comedian. Because I've seen people ahead that said they are gospel musicians and they suffer some kind of limitation. I don't need acceptance from anybody, right? But I don't want to be limited. It's two different things. It's two different things. So by the time I saw that if I stick with saying I'm a gospel comedian, I'll be limited. Like I don't do anything against my faith and my belief now.
Okay.
But I can't tell you that I'm a gospel comedian because I'm a comedian. It's a profession. I'm an MC, comperer, host, and a comedian. So that's what I just told myself, and then I began to make the switch subconsciously. I chose where I can find myself, and then I will not be criticized, and my conscience will not condemn me. So I started with accepting wedding receptions. Okay. It doesn't have anything to do with my belief. Okay. I started with going for end of the year parties, anniversaries, birthday, and then I still couple my church appearances. So I'm good. And from there, the mainstream accepted me because I have what they need. I'm a very intelligent, brilliant comedian that makes my material from relative and relatable activity. So when I crack my joke, you can relate to it. It's experience that is there in front of you. So I don't just tell stories that don't exist. I make relatable jokes, and then I involve my audience in whatever comedy I want to do. So they feel like they're a part of it. And that's what comedy should be like.
When you were switching, was there a conscious awareness for you that, oh boy, I am this, but I'm already tilting towards this direction? Was there a conscious awareness for you? And how was the journey like into mainstream?
I first of all had some setback. That was what brought about the consciousness. I first of all had some setback. Like I saw some events that I would have been a part of, but people sold me to those organizations as a gospel comedian. I was like, come on, no, don't
Who
take
sold
my
you? Who sold you?
My colleagues.
Who sold you?
Colleagues. You know, they call it, they say, oh, they are having, and Nestle Milo is having a production and they want to promote Nestle Milo. Milo that doesn't have anything to do with church. Milo that does not know what is sin and righteousness. Milo that both Christians and non-Christians take. They are trying to do a promotion. So I don't call him, it's only church that he goes, push, hey. So that was when I knew that there was a problem. So I started shouting. Now, no, call me for Milo. Milo, how we go? Call me Indomie, I'm here. So and my friends already jumped into such production And they were everywhere. They were going on tours. But I couldn't go. I was only attending VGUs with Midnight Crew. Because please, before we call Midnight Crew, let's welcome our brother. They will call me. All the VGs in the Kotun, all the VGs in Egbeda, all the VGs in Yanokpaja, up to First Stack, to Lekki, to Bethel. I was the VG specialist. They are inviting Afro Sule. They will use me to join them as a comedian before Afro. I said, please, don't kill this career for me. So I had to consciously, start positioning myself strategically. And all thanks to, there's a church in Lekki called Salem. I joined that church, affiliated myself with their choir night, and they have a lot of big men in that church. So they gave me opportunity to come to the office for the end of the year party. And that was where Kate Enshaw attends church then. Sorry, I mentioned her name. And then Larry, one of the, Larry, the sports radio owner, was attending that church.
Oh, Larry Zamuje?
Yeah, so that was their church. So then one other director for Vodacom. So I blew up from there. So the mainstream accepted me. From there, I joined some other big construction company that was anchoring the end of the year party. I joined another band, one very fantastic band called Q Band. They were recommending me for jobs. I just grew. I grew. My growth was very fast. I wasn't on TV.
Who you they follow quarrel? Who you they
the people that was referring to me as church comedian. And they were asking me to support praise night. Well, thank you guys. You guys helped me. This is where I am today.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I told you guys, I said, permit me. Because now, if you look scrupulously into my eyes, you see that I'm already tearing up. But we have asked my producer to get me a towel because I don't. Anyways, I'm gonna keep it cool. Okay. Now, you left Nigeria to Canada.
Yeah.
A country where you didn't know if the career you've built back in Nigeria was going to thrive or not. I mean, there were uncertain expectations in this type of country.
Yeah.
First moving, were you scared that your career was going to dwindle?
When I came in, I wasn't scared.
Okay.
But as soon as I came in, I became scared. Canada is nobody's mate too. I came with confidence. As soon as I bounced in, the took 80% of the confidence. The remaining 20 that was there, the system of life took the 20. So
you were left
I
with
was
nothing.
no confidence. I'm telling you, no cap. When I came to Canada, there was no social life. The social life in Canada now was generated from 2019. Yes, post-COVID. Before COVID and post-COVID.
Yes, post-COVID.
It started from 2019. There was not, people were having party, but not the structured. MC were paid $200. In this case, I met MC getting $200 to host a whole party. And they will pay as much as $2,500 for the hall.
Yes.
They will pay the collector as much as $1,500. Event planner will collect 20% of total money spent for the party. When it comes to the MC, they will assume the MC to be a PSW or DSW worker that is coming to clock in for 5 hours. We are talking of somebody with a brand. That's how they see it. They say, only 4 hours. Now you go talk now, and you want to take, 200 is okay. They'll divide it for you. It's like $40 per hour. That was what we met. And that was to tell you that it wasn't accommodating, it wasn't welcoming, it was a shocker. And but I'm happy where we are today. So
I knew by virtue of our previous conversation before this, shoot started, that you are also a construction worker.
Yes.
You are into construction.
Yes.
Now, did you put your career as a comedian on hold to focus on what Canada gave to you? Or it was doing your comedy vis-a-vis doing construction? Walk us through the process.
If I walk you through the process, I'll put this as a daring statement. Show me a comedian in Canada
that doesn't have another job,
that lives in Canada, that resides in Canada,
that doesn't have another job,
that dwells in Canada, that is stationed in Canada, that does not have any other job but comedy. And I will show you a liar. That's as simple as that. Maybe in another 5 years, trust me, it's going to switch. Because people are picking up, content is growing. Some people are building brand that with the content they can survive. But right now, as of this podcast, prove me wrong. Don't be embarrassed by the time I start giving you facts that you are lying. There is none. So for me, what happened was when I came in and I found out that the system here, I can't survive by comedy alone. That's why, If you follow me as a person, you see I encourage people to have a backup plan. You can't learn how to use your left hand when you're old. It's difficult. Ask anybody to learn how to use your left hand to eat, to do anything when you're old. So that's to say that it will be difficult to learn a side hustle when you're old. If you don't adapt and create a place in your subconsciousness to be able to assimilate another source of income outside comedy, you would think you have failed as a comedian when you come here in this country called Canada. Don't get me wrong. If you're not ambitious, you can survive as a comedian doing comedy alone. But that means you live in a basement. You will not drive finance car. You'll be managing your 1998 Toyota Corolla. You will not come outside because if you enter any trouble, it's a problem for you. You just come out from your basement to the show and come back to the basement. So that way, by the time you do 24 shows and approximately 2 shows per month, and if you are well paid at least 1.5, you know you have 3,000 for the month, and then you can survive for the year. If you have children or if you have wife on your own, so that's it. So that's it for me. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like Rich White came here with a lot of anger in him, but don't worry, we'll go dissect him.
Okay.
At what point, give us the breaking point where you felt that, okay, comedy in this country, I will make money out of it?
Okay, I think my breaking point didn't start from Canada. Okay. It was when I had some discussion with people that I felt were making money from comedy back home.
Okay.
When we start to talk and I hear how much they get paid, then I know how much I get paid. Because I wasn't on the mainstream like on TVs, but I was well paid because I built a client base for myself. So when I heard how much they get paid and I see how much I get paid, I found out I was doing way better than them. So I knew that it was the attachment to my brand that make people pay me that much. So I knew that I have something. There's something I carry. If I was not on Open Mic AY, if I was not on Stand Up Nigeria, and the people that attended Open Mic, Stand Up Nigeria, AY Live, and I earn more than them in terms of per show without having a click or caucus, I just told myself that I have something. I sure do have something. And if you look at my growth in Canada, it will tell you for a shorty that I'm not just bragging. I actually have something. Because I carve an inch for myself. I'm busy. I'm a relevant brand. And I have created a client base for myself here in Canada. So that was what helped me to know that, okay, if I come here, I'm going to also do well. But by the time I came here, it is not about my brand. The craft itself was not appreciated. So there's nobody that would have come that time that won't struggle. Okay, Bakassi had his first successful show with Basket Mouth as a featured art in 2019.
Oh, wow.
And I was a part of that show. So before 2019, he has done series of shows. They were never a success. After 2019, when he came again in 2022 or so, sold out also. We have grown the industry right now that AY can come and sell out. Basket Mouth can come and sell out. Bovi can come and sell out. It wasn't like that before 2018. Anybody can prove me wrong. If there's anybody that have a fantastic, successful comedy show, even Agoda first Toronto store, there's a CD about in Alaba that they sell for that Toronto store. You see how it is now. Nigerians don't come out before then.
I'm sorry. Really sorry to cut you. Before 2019, was it because the Nigerian communities in various cities didn't have the harmony, or what was the militating factor that didn't make? What was the difference between before 2019 and after 2019?
Let me just say before 2018, right?
Okay, 2018.
Before 2018, the comedians were coming and going.
Oh.
After 2019, the comedians are residents. They are now in your city, in front of you.
Oh.
So they have to make it work. Create a market for themselves. Show you the relevance of having a comedian MC, and then you know you are missing something. Before then, the people don't even know what they are missing. You can't pay somebody's flight from Nigeria all the way, make a visa application for them just to bring them for your 50th birthday. But you know now that instead of me paying Agodai to come all the way, there's Rich White here. Agodai will cost me money for flight, business class, but I can give Rich White 2,500 and he will just show and he will scatter the place. Right? He would do a fantastic job as Rich White. So why would I go all the way to shop from somebody from Nigeria? So that's the twist. So when I mentioned 2018, I'm just trying to tell you there was a migration period where the comedians now start coming to live in Canada, not coming and going back to Nigeria.
So I haven't gotten to this point. Did you feel that you were now your your artistry started to take flight as a comedian. Canada is an all-inclusive environment. Canada has diverse cultures and diverse people in it. Were you scared that you were going to appeal only to the Nigerian community, or you were striving for something more? Because listen, I've seen your shows. I see that a lot of people attend your show, not only Nigerians, everybody from diverse countries, they come and they attend. But moving into it, were you scared that you would appeal, because you are Nigerian, you're a true-born Nigerian, right?
Yes, true-born Nigerian.
Yeah. Were you scared that you're going to appeal only to the Nigerian community, or you were looking for something further?
Everything, like I said in the post before we started production, we're discussing, you cannot get anything out of a fluke. You don't fluke anything. If you're not deliberate about things, it can't work. There's no chance to success.
Yeah.
So I'm that kind of person. So like now, I have jokes for Jamaican community. I have jokes for West African community. I have joke for white community. If I meet a white man, I make a joke concerning my visa process. They cannot relate to it because they don't apply for visa.
Yeah.
So by the time I start saying it, they'll be like, oh, is this the kind of rigorous stress you go through to get a visa? Now it's applicable to both my African people listening to me, and it's intriguing to the foreigner knowing that this is the process for me to get a visa. If I meet a Jamaican audience, because of the nature of my kind of person, I can switch. I know how they think. I can go into your head and I have a relatable joke for them. If I meet somebody from Sierra Leone, Liberia, I can switch. So I wasn't even then, I didn't know that I was going to fall into this category where I'll be in Canada, there's a diverse community. But I've learned that if you want to give joke, make sure your joke is relatable to your audience. If you're among Yorubas, let your joke be relatable to the Yorubas. Yeah. If you're among the Igbos, let it be relatable. You must not speak the language. But instances and scenario that they can relate to it. So coming to Canada, it was easy to switch because I've already been doing jobs for both Yoruba, Igbo, and because Ekolobi Misi, I'm Igbo Denini. So I could flow. I can do with my Igbo people, do with my Yoruba people. So coming here, I've already learned how to switch. So my switching is just, I will generalize a particular set of regions people and I'll create a material for them. So by the time they hear me, they feel among. Yeah, I was in Calgary and I did a joke about Sierra Leone and Liberia. A couple fell from their seats when they were I still did it yesterday in the show that I attended. And I'm happy to know that I could relate to them in the best way they can understand. And that's why I'm highly sorted. And that's why I'm rich.
Rich, right?
I can't help it.
Okay. How was the? Before I ask you this question, let me ask it. Let me put one forward. For a Nigerian who is coming, who has built some type of pedigree in comedy, coming into this country, and he wants to further his craft, what are the few advices that you're going to give to such a person?
To be honest with you, because of the current economic situation of Canada, if you have a pedigree in Nigeria, stay in Nigeria for now. That's the advice. Because why I said that is, most comedians in Nigeria that have, in quote, what we call pedigree, is because of their client base. And their client base is actually their bank base. So if I have a lot of followers in Nigeria, my content will be relatable to my followers in Nigeria. I don't need to do extra energy to appeal to my Nigerian audience. And for you to be able to make enough naira to change to dollar to come and have fun in Canada, it shows that you are blessed. Because it takes a lot of naira to get a fraction of the dollar. Yeah, so if you have a pedigree in Nigeria right now, stay in Nigeria. Yes, that's just the truth. Because if you switch over to this place, this is the disadvantage. For the first 2 years, you'll still be making the same amount of money you are making from content posted online. That's one. And for the first 2 years, you will lose all your Nigerian content because of the switch and the move. So if you're making $10,000 from content before you're in Nigeria, if you come down here, you don't have any extra, nothing like booking for shows and everything. All you have is that $10,000. So from that $10,000, which I'm exaggerating, not everybody can make up to $10,000 from content in Nigeria. You pay rent, you do everything inside that $10,000 while you are trying to build a brand for yourself here in Canada. So you will not be able to sustain the kind of lifestyle that you have in Nigeria. But with the $10,000 in Nigeria, which is about 12 point something million naira, you can live a particular kind of lifestyle. You can come into Canada, do 1 or 2 gigs, and you can go back. But if you're ready to mortgage all that, and you don't have any fear to start afresh like we did, but I think we came in the right time, you can come in. So the advice I have for you, stay where you are. Just stay back. It is not enough to wear fake Gucci and white canvas and be jumping up and down. All these LM1 boys, para dey, but you will see para. Go and learn something. You are forming Jay-Z. The Gen Z that they name you after Jay-Z. He has something he's doing outside music. He's a businessman. Okada riding is not handwork. You're just going to make money for the moment, and then you find out that one accident, your life is gone, or your leg is gone, your hand is gone. Go learn handwork. Hook up is not handwork. As a man, it's not handwork. Go and learn handwork. I know I'm shaking tables, but I'm telling you, you will thank me later.